Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. It's about 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock Chicago time. Or I'm actually in Schaumburg. So it's 7 o'clock at home. I woke up this morning. I woke up and I was wide awake. Thought, maybe it's time to get up. So I get up, go to the bathroom, look at my phone, and it's only 2:30 in the morning. Tracy and I went to sleep early, like 8:30 last night, which is really 9:30 our time. But so I woke up, I was hot. For some reason the air wouldn't kick on, and I tried to lay back down. I know I slept because I had some weird dreams. And finally I got up about 4:30, which is 5 our time, 5:30. I'll get up, and I took a shower, and Tracy woke up, and she took her medicine and stuff. She said she woke up, and she's like, oh no, I don't want to get up yet. She looked at the clock, she said it was 11:30, and she's like, oh, geez. So she took her medicine, and she's like, do we have to get ready and go yet? I was like, no, we got about 2-3 hours before we leave. She's like, oh, good. So I went for about a 1.5 mile walk, just thinking about things. Did my daily Bible study thing that I'm doing, watched the video, and now I'm just sitting down here at the hotel in the little gazebo thing, and I was thinking this morning about, Tracy's, she's been battling cancer for the last 5-6 years, and I was thinking, I kind of understand what cancer is. I mean, I know a lot about her type of cancer, which is very rare. A lot of nurses and practitioners don't really even know what her type of cancer is when they see her for the first time. And so I was doing a little bit of reading this morning before I went for my walk, and just to give you a little idea of how cancer occurs. It's not something you catch. We know it's not contagious. It's more genetic, and it's kind of passed on. It can be passed on from your parents and grandparents. It's a mutation of your cells. Your body's made up of cells. And I read one place that said your body's made up of millions and millions of cells, and I read another place your body's made up of trillions of cells. I don't know who had that job to set and count all the cells in somebody. I'm sure they calculated it somehow. But obviously there's more cells in some people than others. There's more fat cells in some people, there's more bone cells, there's even more brain cells in some people. I think Einstein's brain, he had a large brain, if I do remember right. But your body's made up of cells, and different cells, they only live so many days. Like your white blood cells, they say live on an average of like 13 days. And your red blood cells live about 120 days, and like your top of your skin, those cells live, I think it said, I can't remember, 5 or 6 days. But those cells die, and once they die, it sends a signal to your body saying, hey, we need more cells down here. And so you start making more cells. If you remember in biology class how they divide and replicate, which is so awesome if you think about the human body and how it's made up and how it's just able to repair itself, able to heal itself from things. I mean, when Tracy had her first surgery, first couple actually, her incision right here, she had an incision from about right here to down here, they had her open, and then she had staples, and she got sick the first time and started throwing up and just ripped that open. And so instead of healing by basically it being held together and then it heals together, they had to let it come open, and she had like a 7 inches wide by 6 inches long, and it was about that deep, basically a hole in her stomach. And it had to heal, the skin cells had to heal from the inside out to just fill that hole in. And it was crazy just to sit there and watch that whole process for the 6 months for that to heal over. And yeah, her stomach doesn't look the prettiest, but everything's healed, and it's amazing. But things she's able to even walk, it's crazy. And that she did that twice. She had to have a wound vac, and she had a temporary ostomy a couple times. And yeah, it's just amazing how the human body is made up. And you think about just even the whole earth and all the galaxies and all the stars and everything, how that's all made up. And then you go down to our human level and how we're all just put together and made up. It's amazing. If you look at that and you research that, and you don't think there is a creator who did that, we just happened out of some big bang, you're crazy. I don't know. Anyway, so I was reading about that, and basically, so your cells, they say, hey, we need to make more, and sometimes the cells don't actually die. They actually survive, and they don't quite die, but your body still gets the signals to make more cells. And so they keep multiplying, and that process somehow, they'll keep multiplying and they'll mutate somehow, and that's where you'll get a tumor. Whoops, sorry, my alarm went off and stopped the video for a second. But yeah, what I was saying, they'll keep multiplying, and then you get the tumors, and the tumors will grow, and that's how you got a tumor. And if that's a tumor that's not cancerous, it's called benign, but some of them are cancerous. And cancer cells, there's several different types of cancers, but cancer cells somehow have the ability to ignore the signals from the body to stop multiplying. And so I forget the word for it, where some cells can break off and they get into your lymph nodes, and your lymph nodes will make it spread throughout your body. And that's why when you have cancer, that's the first thing they check to see if it's spread to your lymph nodes, and they'll take out your lymph nodes. And so if the tumor's, I think, malignant, maybe, that means it's going to keep growing. I can't think of the other word now, which basically means it can spread and invade your other organs. But that's, in a nutshell, kind of what cancer is. And I was thinking, Tracy here lately she had a good report on her scan. Tumors on her spleen were completely gone. Like, there was no evidence of them ever being there. And she's just been doing really good. She's been cleaning the house. She's been rearranging the house. She's been baking these cookies, this little business she started. And 6 months ago or a year ago, she was doing nothing but basically laying in bed watching TV. And it's just amazing, and we're praising God for this all the way through it. We know we have faith in Him, and whatever comes, and just everything seems to be, and our business is going well. We've got so much work that it's hard to even keep up with, and just crazy. Everything just seems to be going great, and for some reason, I think we, or at least me, as humans, things are going well. You're waiting. You're thinking, okay, everything's going too well, and you're waiting for something bad to happen. You're thinking, okay, this can't be real. It can't be going on that long. So what gives here? What's gonna happen? And you kind of think of that way, or some people, when they have nothing but bad things going, they'll say something like, well, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was reminds me, I have the story of Job in the Bible. Job had everything. He was rich, he had all kinds of animals, all kinds of things, had a big family, and God lets Satan do all these things to him. Says he can do everything to him, but he can't kill him. And that story, the whole story of the book of Job, we think of it as it's about Job and how he loses everything, and he still blesses God, no matter if it's good or bad. And at the end of the story, you know, he gets everything back and more. When we think of that story as a story of Job, when in reality, that story is the story of God and how God has dominion over everything. You know, God is the creator. You know, most of my talks are based on, I believe in God. I believe there's one God, a creator of everything, and I believe in the Bible. All the books and the stories in it and the letters in it are all inspired words of God, and they're from him. So that's where I base all my stuff off of, my belief system anyway. But yeah, the story is about God and how he can do what he wants to do, and who are we to question him? You know, and that's how me and Tracy want to live our lives, whether it's good news or it's bad news. We want to praise his name and bless him through whatever happens. And whatever happens, we want to keep praising him and know that everything is from him. And just like Job says in the book, I think 120, he says, you know, from my mother's womb I came out naked, and when I go back, I will go back naked. God gives and he takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And that's what we've tried to do through this whole process. You know, it's been hard at times. It's been really hard at times. And so those hard times just make the good times even better. And so yeah, that's how we've tried to keep continuing to live our life. You know, everything, we try to think everything we have is not ours. It is on loan from God, and he just lets us be managers of it, lets us be stewards of it. And if we're good stewards, he says he would give us more. So if we're good with what he gives us, and we treat that right and do what's right, and go through everything with the mindset that nothing is ours, then I think we have a good and happy life. That right there is one of the secrets to life, I think. Secret to having a good and happy life. So I'm not saying that's easy at times, but you know, if you keep that in mind when you lose things or when you get things, you know, last Sunday we had a good message at church, and after church we felt like getting something for somebody, and so we went to the store and Tracy picked it out and got it, and then we were eating lunch, and I was sitting there, and for some reason Tracy looked at this couple that was there, and she said, I think we need to buy their lunch. I was like, oh, we just got this thing for this one person. Maybe I think you're wanting to be overgiving. That was my first thought. She's like, okay. But then I asked who it was, and I looked at him. I went to the bathroom. As I was walking to the bathroom, I was kind of looking at them, staring at them, and in the process, I was trying to judge, do they really need this? Do they really need somebody, you know, trying to figure out if they needed it or not. Even though Tracy felt like they did, I was in my mind trying to judge if they needed it or not. Anyway, my alarm went off again. Stop my video. Now I lost my train of thought. So Tracy went to the bathroom, and I guess she's seen him counting out change. And she said she just remembered back when Shelby was little, before Ian was here, and we would scrounge up money to try to go out to eat, and she said it just reminded her of them, and she went over and she gave them some money, and you know, the girl started first tried to refuse it, and she's like, no, just take it. She said, I've been in that place before. And the girl started to tear up. She said, don't tear up. She said, just, you know, I feel like giving this to you, and just take it. And then she told me about it later on that day, and it made me feel kind of bad, because I was like, I didn't follow what Tracy was thinking, and just trust her. And I, in my own mind, was trying to figure out, okay, do these people really need this or not? And that's kind of what I mean about if we just go through life knowing that nothing we have is ours. Our money's not ours. Our house is not ours. Our cars are not ours. Even our kids are not ours. And I know a lot of people who's lost kids, and I cannot understand how that feels. Or if you lose parents, but if you can kind of try to go through the mindset that everything in life is not ours, that I think it kind of helps us get through difficult times in life. And it helps us to give more. I think it helps us to give more. So anyway, I don't know how I got onto that from cancer, but random thoughts today. I'm gonna go up and work for a little bit in the hotel, and then get things packed up and head home. We got about a 4.5 hour drive home, I think. So try to get through when there's no rush hour traffic. So traffic out there. That fishy. I think he's just eating a fish. A duck and a goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. So I'll get back, see our little doggies and our cats, I guess. Yeah. Go home, see our dogs, our kids, and so happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Get through the day. Hope you have a good day. Just keep on keeping on.